inviting our guest up. Hey, there they are.
What's up?
What's happening?
A lot.
Is the crew together?
We're here. We're here. Hi.
Hey, how many people do we have today?
Two here. Two of us.
Just two? Oh, all right, nice, great. Well, what questions do you have for me?
Oh,
I'll just play it.
okay. I was like, all right. We can ask you questions. We can ask you questions. We're gonna adapt you. To be honest.
I guess let's start with your names first. I'll start first. I'll just introduce myself. My name is Joshua. I'm part of the National Youth Bike Council, and the council is pretty much just like a group that's fully youth led, and our goal is to really just create a community around cycling, and that's for young people. So I guess we'll start. I guess my left, which is you in the white shirt. So what is your name? And then we'll
My name is Xander Cardona. I'm part of the Belmont Creighton Youth Leadership Council in Chicago, and I've just been part of it for a year. I love what I do. I love working and organizing, and basically leading.
Awesome.
Oh, hi everyone. I'm Natalie Pastor. I actually just joined the youth council this year, and I've been cycling since since November of last year.
All right, nice. Well, I don't know if either of you know like the origins of the council. Maybe I'm curious about that too. Like, how did the youth council start up? And tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, for sure. I can definitely jump in. So I'm Jeremy. I'm the youth organizer here.
Mm-hmm.
I help lead the group. Been here for 4 years, and the origins of the youth council started when our organization started to create and talk about a quality of life plan back in 2016.
Right.
So previously to that, we didn't work with youth, and that was one of when we were doing this planning process for the quality of life plan. That was one of the big things besides housing and jobs that folks wanted to see improvement on. So we started to work with youth in 2016, and from that birthed the Youth Council. So the Youth Council is 20 youth that live in the community or go to school in the community, and we identify issues through power analysis, through small group discussions, round tables with young people, and we identify issues in our community that the youth see as issues, and we work towards solving those issues. So the last 2 years, the Youth Council identified improving public transportation as a issue in our community. So out of 200 miles of bike lanes in Belmont Creighton, only 1.5 miles we have in our community. We have 0 bike share options like Divvy or Lyft. We have 0 of those. And our bus service, specifically the Diversity bus line, has been failing. A nonprofit called Active Transportation Alliance, they did a report card throughout the city.
Mm-hmm.
And out of 3 different wards in Belmont Creighton, the average was an F. So, due to on time, timeliness, bunching, and cleanliness. So, the youth dubbed Belmont Creighton as a transportation desert because we don't have any bike lanes. We don't have any bike share options, and our bus service is failing us. So the last 2 years, we've been advocating and organizing with our elected officials. We traveled to Washington, D.C. last year to talk to our federal legislators, and then we traveled to Springfield, Illinois to talk to our state legislators. So the last 2 years, we've been working, advocating, and we're happy to say that at the end of the year, we're going to have over 15 Divvy stations installed in our community, and
Nice.
over 8 miles of bike lanes painted in our community. So we're excited. These youth are the ones who've been doing the advocating, doing the organizing. I'm just here to support them. So, even though we are right in the community, I grew up in Belmont Creighton, but I don't live here anymore. I live in another community, but they live here. They ride every day in the community. So they're the rock stars. I'm just here to help support. But that's just a little background of how we started our youth work and how our transportation work kind of evolved into that.
Yeah, that's actually pretty interesting. Because the council, we started a little bit differently. We started through this event that I went to myself. I used to be on a youth council at my local bike shop, and they took us to something called a youth bike summit.
Gotcha.
And if y'all haven't been there, I would highly recommend, like, I don't
Yeah,
know if the group could
it's
ever
that,
go out.
right?
Yes, absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah, totally worth experiencing. We went there and we met with other youth councils that
Mhm.
were like also in their local communities doing different work. And then we were just like, what would happen if we like combined that council with this council with that other council that we didn't meet yet, but we want to meet? And that
Mhm.
was sort of pretty much like the birth of the idea. And then we realized it was a little more than that. We realized like there's this thing that we want, but like there's no community for it. And
Right.
so we just really started looking at ways that we can make this community a thing. So I see we have Jeremy.
Yeah.
Then, if I'm not mistaken, it's Xander, if I'm saying that
Yeah.
correctly.
Yeah.
And I want to make sure I say your name is correctly as well. Can you say it one more time?
Natalie.
Natalie. Natalie?
Yes, Natalie. Yeah.
Perfect. All right, great. So since we have that, what kind of bikes do you ride, Natalie? Just tell us about that.
Oh yeah, so I ride a mountain bike. So yeah, it's a Marlin Trek. I don't know, good grip, thick. What's it called? Thick tires. That's pretty much it. Yeah, I don't know. I just ride a mountain bike. I really like it. I feel like I feel like it suits well for the city, especially since like in the city there's always so many potholes. There's always construction everywhere. You know, it just like fits in very well. So yeah, at least for me compared to like a city bike. But I do feel really comfortable with a mountain bike. So yeah.
Got you. I
Uh,
personally have a road bike. How about you, Xander?
I ride a fixie. It's pretty nice. Honestly, I love my fixie. It's like blue, white, a little bit of gold. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. I mean, I don't got a picture of it, but like it's nice, you know.
Yeah, dope, dope, nice. You'll probably flex on me anyways. But all right. So do y'all have any particular place to ride? Like, I'm not sure if like the Belmont area has like trails or anything like that.
So for me, sometimes the youth council and I we go to this thing called North Branch Trail. So it's like the upper north side of Chicago, and
Mm-hmm.
it goes into it goes through like forest preserves almost, and kind of cuts through a lot of the other suburbs outside of Chicago. I know last year they went very far north to like a northern suburb. I think we did like 20, 30 miles that day.
All right. Wow.
Yeah, it was fun, exhausting but fun, you know. And,
Yeah.
but I think the thing I hate about that the most though is going up and then realizing you have to come back because it's like four. You just did 30 miles or like 20. Now you gotta do that again.
Hmm.
That's to me. I like it, but I hate it because it's like I get home and I'm like tired, you know.
Yeah, yeah, got you, got you. That's pretty funny. How about you, Natalie? Any place that you like to ride particularly?
Oh yeah. So I actually ride my bike to school at times. Or to like I do sports so I practice. So like I usually take like there's a trail in Chicago that runs through like an old like train like track, and
Uh-huh.
that's so six. It's actually a little bit farther out east than like our neighborhood, but it's still not that far. So I'd like to ride there because it takes me literally from like west to east, and it's super convenient for me. And there's also like it's only just bikes, and at times you can find people just like walking on the sidelines. But if not, it's only just bikes. So I really like that, and I also really like riding down like the Lakefront Trail. Um,
Hmm.
so yeah, it's really nice.
That's a nice trail too. Like I don't know, you just get to see the lake. You see like part of downtown. It's nice to
It's a
like
nice mixture, yeah. It's
yeah.
like you get to see like if you start up north, you get to see not the woods, but like you get to see like a lot of trees, a lot of nature,
Hmm.
like a lot of nature preservation. And then once you go down further south, you get to see more of the city, and then you get to see like more beaches and like other places like other like city facilities that they have
Like
there.
it's very urban. You get like if you keep going more south, you see like this aquarium we have, a planetarium, Soldier Field, you know, where the Bears play, and like a couple of the museums. You know, it's a very mix of like nature and urban. So it's like that's what.
Right. Right. I said flex, but I'm sort of like getting a little jealous now. We have like council members in different areas of the US. We don't have one in Chicago yet, but if any of them ever came, I was like, maybe y'all could like give us a tour of the area or something like that on bike. That would be so awesome.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh, yes, of course.
we have the perfect man for that. Zaire, like council members, he's been here since like beginning of the youth council, and he loves riding bike. But currently, he's working with an alderman, so he's like here and there. But if you guys came, that's the man. That's the man you guys want.
Got you. All right, awesome. Nice, nice. And I think that this is actually more inspirational than you think. Just simply learning about where y'all like to bike, what kind of bike y'all have, is really nice because when we do like this type of work, learning about those other young people who are motivated or just interested in doing type of work that enables other young people, whether they know it or not, to have access to specific things like all the bike lanes that y'all like helping help curate. And just by simply being there, other organizations are like, oh yeah, we really want to like help this initiative. I think that that's inspirational. So just going to say thank y'all for doing the work that y'all do. And hopefully it continues to go well throughout the rest of this year. So I guess Xavier, like, tell me a little bit about like your leadership. Like what's like, I guess the reason that you like to do this type of work, or how did you get into it? That's another reason as well.
Okay, so I can tell you how I started here. So it was a little bit after quarantine, right? During the pandemic, and there's a church right around the corner called New Life Covenant Church,
Mm-hmm.
and at the time he was a youth leader at the church, and I asked my dad, I was like, "Is there any place I could help out? Because it was pandemic, people were in need of help." And I always had that like need to, help out people. And he's like, yeah, tomorrow New Life is giving away food for people. You can help them out. And speak to this guy, Jeremy. He has a group of kids that he works with at a nonprofit. I was like, okay, So then the next day I went there, gave away food. I was talking to Jeremy, and I got into the youth council. And ever since then, I've been, kind of like leading, speaking in meetings like this, or we even had a meeting, I think a month and a half ago with a state representative, and I was there asking questions, and I know in a couple weeks, because I'm appointed as a team lead with 2 other youth, and in a couple weeks we're gonna have a conference that's nationwide, basically talking about the same thing we're doing right now about our work and everything. So I think to me, like, because when I was younger, I used to be very shy. So this is kind of like a whole, 180 of what I used to be. And I'm very like outspoken, and, me personally, I wanted to start my own organization, but that's, just help out Latinos in Chicago.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yeah. How about you, Natalie? I know you're a little bit newer, but like, have you had any like prior leadership experience, or are you feeling like this is one of the things where you just, I don't know, like want to just get involved in a way that you haven't been involved before?
Oh, okay, yeah. So I'm actually like the leader of like the Hispanic and like Latinx club at my school, and I do like a lot of work with them. So I actually like lead like this mentorship club that we have.
Mm-hmm.
Freshmen and sophomores, where like juniors and seniors, who are of Latinx and Hispanic origin, like they
Mm-hmm.
mentor socially and academically, like these like underclassmen, and help them out throughout like this journey that we have in high school. Because my high school is my high school is a little different, so of course there's like a mix of from everyone in the city, and I feel like every single student kind of needs help in different ways, which is what kind of my program does. And then aside from my mentorship program that I do at school, I also like help lead like student and parent panels for Latinx or Hispanic families at school who do need either help, I guess, either with like first the college application process, or like what their child's supposed to be doing in high school, that type of stuff. So I help lead a lot of those type of panels. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Got you. And just like a random question, do either of y'all know how to fix bikes or anything like that?
To be honest, no.
No,
I don't know. But like, I did have my friend help me fix the seat, and that took like 30 minutes. It was a pain. Remember that when
But tell them the workshops we're doing to learn how to fix
yes, we are gonna have like these workshops at a place called Bikes and Roses today, and it's just gonna be like a workshop. Learn how to fix bikes, how to like the proper signals when you're on the road.
Bike safety, that
Yeah.
kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And every from 11 to 2 p.m. So
Yeah, all that stuff is very much needed. And so great. All right, so this sounds great. So like y'all have sort of been involved in leadership in some form or way even before this, which is honestly really nice. So I think that's inspiring to a lot of people. For those of them, because I know a handful of people who are like, oh, I want to do that, but like I'm too lazy. But I feel like y'all want to do it and you're not being lazy. So we need more people that are like that. So just shout out to y'all for that. So all right, so then on another note, so like how do you feel cycling has changed between when you first started cycling and how it is now? I mean, obviously we're just getting out of the pandemic, so
Are you saying like for us or just in general what we see?
in general, what you see?
Okay, so I know during the pandemic, I feel like I saw a little bit more people biking at the time, and I feel like less people are biking now. Just me personally, I don't know why, but I just know during the pandemic, I saw more people biking, less people biking now. But I do know it's summer, so we're gonna probably see a spike in people biking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I actually started biking during the pandemic. I of course saw a lot of people also, like buying, bikes and like started biking, going places and transporting themselves that way. But I feel now during summer, I mean, especially like in the trails that I use, like there's like a lot of people biking.
Right.
So yeah, I guess that's like my experience with it. So.
Right. So let's say you just started biking during the pandemic. Do you feel like between that time and now, like cycling has changed your life in a little bit of a way, or how has cycling impacted your life, particularly, Natalie?
Yeah, I definitely view it as more positive, and I'm not, that afraid as I used to be before, to use the streets and that type of stuff. Especially, I mean, there are a couple. I mean, the city has increased like in their bike lanes in certain areas, but at the same time, it's also really hard. I mean, you do learn how to like. You do know how to like transfer yourself everywhere, and I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, I'm not really sure how to.
No, that was a good answer. Yeah.
I also started biking because of the youth council during the pandemic, and at first I was very nervous because I'm a very anxious person. But after a while, I started liking it more, and we started going on more like bike rides, just the youth council. And we went downtown. We went like to the suburbs, play basketball. We're just having a good time, just bonding and everything. And I do remember this one time. It's actually funny. We went to or bike riding. We went to a suburb. Then we went to this high school called Simons. They have a football field. And that day we started playing football against these grown men, and we were winning. It was that to me is like one of like my favorite memories, like from like bike riding.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. I wonder how that started actually. But great.
It started. We were messing around, and then Jeremy started talking smack a little. It was yeah. He started talking smack to these guys, and then they're like, "We'll play all y'all." We're like, "All right." Then
Nice. All right, great. So, all right, I'm liking it. So, for a group like y'all's, and I see that Xavier, you're like in a little bit of leadership type role, but even as like a newcomer, Natalie, I'm curious for what you have for this particular question. But what do you think national organizations can do to help groups like yours?
I feel like in a way, just like support us in our advocation. In advocating, for more bike lanes around the city of Chicago, especially in areas like where it's majority BIPOC families, and because okay, so at least for the city of Chicago, transportation is very tricky. There's a lot of transportation in certain areas of the city, and especially for like the whole west side, you know, whether it be like our area and, you know, further down south, there's very few like transportation opportunities. And like Jeremy said in the beginning, like, you know, and you know, like trains are always like super late. We have absolutely no train stations nearby us. Actually, they're both 20 minutes away, both the blue line and the green line. That's a very big problem because like I feel like people in this area always have to like. I mean, at least a good majority of people always like either travel out east or south or up north, and it does create a big transportation, you know, problem for many of us. And so like I feel just like just supporting us and, you know, using your connections, of course, to like help us like advocate for more bike lanes or for better transportation around the city of Chicago. So yeah, and just disclaimer, I also for school I used to use like a lot of like it used to take me like an hour and a half to get to school all the way out like in downtown Chicago because of like the bad transportation that we have, especially in our neighborhood. So yeah, like I had to travel. I used to take like 3 buses. It was insane. Like yeah, like no, sorry, 2 trains and a bus, or sometimes I would take you know 2 buses, but that would take forever. So yeah, it's a lot. So
Yeah, I mean, I agree with everything Natalie said. I think something I think that would be very good, like if like it'd just be amazing if you know, if we had like a bike ride event and you guys came out to, you know, join us, kind of show more support like in person. I think that would be great. And I think you know, just kind of getting that word out that what we're getting done, and like, you know, transportation is kind of changing for the better. Because, you know, me, I a couple of years ago, I had to work downtown, and I had to take a bus and a train, and it was the worst thing ever. And then I started school, and I had to take 2 buses. And I know Jeremy talked about it, but the First bus, that's like my primary bus.
Mm-hmm.
Worst thing ever. I swear, it's always crowded. I remember constant times because sometimes I had you know, a gym bag because I had to go to boxing, and I come back from it and I have a book bag, a gym bag full of boxing equipment, and just like gloves on the side, and there's just, you know, people like
Yeah.
squishing me. Horrible. And I, you know, it's stuff like that that makes me like remember what we're doing and why I want to change that. But also, you know, I know a couple years ago, before I was here, one of the youth council members got hit by a car on a bike. Yeah, but, you know, thank God he's alive. You know, he's alive and everything. But I think it's stuff like, you know, stuff like that too that, you know, kind of drives all of us to better transportation, get more bike lanes, and get these divvies within Belmont Creighton.
Yeah, most definitely. And I have similar stories where like I have folks, even just within the last 2 months, someone I know got hit by a car, but the car like it was like a hit and run, but he's still walking with like a knee brace now. So it's like it would like it's really unfortunate for like this type of situation that some of the cities put these different commuters in because they don't have, so most of them don't have a choice. So it'd be really nice to see that like being changed. And on top of that, I know that what y'all do is like involved around transportation and cycling, because cycling can be a form of transportation, leisure, sport, like you name it. So in particularly with cycling, my question is, what do you think that within the next year are some of your most like community needs in reference to cycling, just within the next year?
Well, I know we're getting these, you know, the divvy stations. We're getting 11 by the end of the year, and I think 5 miles of new bike lanes. So I feel like that's what was needed, and we kind of accomplished that goal. But, you know, I don't think it's gonna, you know, end there. I feel like, you know, at some point, you know, there's gonna have to be a better, you know, new quality of life plan, you know, for transportation other than just cycling. Or maybe it is just like it helps cycling even more, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just what I think.
yeah, as a local biker, like I would definitely say like definitely a lot more bike lanes would definitely be useful, you know, just to kind of like have like a secure spot, like hey, this is where I'm supposed to be going, you know, and like cars are supposed to be like, you know, kind of like moving in your way, that type of stuff. So yeah, and definitely like bike stands too. You know, it's
Oh yeah, like bike.
yeah,
That would be
bike
nice.
racks. Yeah,
I know we got some actually, some bike racks, and it says like Belmont Craig on it.
they're really nice.
They're very nice, and
yeah.
they're colorful too. You know.
Are they on your Instagram by any chance?
I
I think so. I don't know,
Yeah.
but I think just probably send you a picture of how it looks.
Yeah, definitely throw up a post about that. I'd love to see what those look like.
Yeah.
We've been getting new variations in the Philadelphia areas as well as to how they're supporting cyclists. And we're getting a few new lanes as well. I just don't think as many as y'all were able to like achieve or like booster up the type of support about. So I guess in reference to that type of work, can you tell me a little bit about that? Like how did y'all sort of get that to happen? I feel like y'all group has like gotten grants and things of that nature. Like, tell me a little bit about that. Like, give yourself some credit. Like, time to flex. Go ahead.
So I know because they've been doing it for years. So I think it's just years of hard work, but also them flying out to DC, meeting with like senators, representatives, and then like going to was it Springfield to meet like our state politicians. And I think it's talks like that, trying to see if there's any like grants, any fees for transportation, and talking locally to people. I know a couple months ago before the bike ride, they're having a vaccine event at the school I said, Steinmetz. Me and this other youth, we went, we had for I think 4 Saturdays straight, we had a survey, asking people, do you, it was a bunch of questions like, do you ride bike? Would you like to see this in the community, this and that? And I think it's stuff like that, engaging the community, engaging, higher up politicians to see the problems, but also like try to figure out a solution, something I tell Jeremy is basically we work for the community. Like we gotta, just hear the community out and then see the problems and then find a solution,
Yep. I personally think y'all group is actually pretty strong. 20 members is a lot of members. The biggest council I've been on had like 13 members, maybe max.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we're all balanced out in our own areas. Some of us speakers, some of us researchers, some of us are both, or some are just like workers, or engagers to like the community. I think it's a fair balance of everything.
And I feel like everyone like here does have is so involved in many different ways, whether it be at school, communities, or in the neighborhood itself, that we want to create change that way, because we have seen we've gone through these problems that other neighborhoods haven't, or other people in maybe on the north side of Chicago haven't, so
Mm-hmm.
And we really want to create that change to hopefully for the better, first of all, and yeah, I feel like West Siders, we've gone through so many different things, hospitals, schools. Hospitals shutting down, schools shutting down. It's hard, for us to even get an education nowadays. So yeah, it's just it's rough. So yeah.
Yeah. So whether you would,
you'd be amazed what I did at school. I started a whole union of students to get mental health things at my school. It was pretty funny. It was pretty cool.
worth.
But it's stuff like that, I think we're all she said, she's engaged in stuff in her school. I'm engaged in stuff in my school. I know, other people that are engaged in their church or their school, or even their jobs. Like I said, one of the workers works with an alderman. He was also awarded a medal from the mayor, It's, yeah.
Transportation, yeah.
Yeah, it's stuff like that.
For
that,
creating change in transportation and biking and that type of stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, stuff like that, that kind of, fleshes out in to what we do and who we are. And it shows, it proves it in our work and what we do outside the youth council.
Exactly. And believe it or not, there's actually other groups that are just like yours. And one of our council members was part of a group that was just like that, where they're interested in cycling, but they sort of have even a bigger vision too, in terms of, just general mobility and freedom. And so your group and other groups across the US that have young people just advocating for safer places to commute, safer places and easier, quicker, and then accessible to people that don't have driving license and stuff like that. And there's so many ways to do it. So I think that one thing the youth council, the National Youth Bike Council was thinking about was that by creating this community we're not also like, y'all have been getting like awards and stuff like that, which is absolutely fantastic. But I was wondering, like, did y'all also have like a community of other young people also helping y'all? And that's the kind of thing that the council was looking to like fulfill and help with other groups, because we have like even members who like started a club but then maybe didn't really go so successful, so being able to provide resources and stuff like that. But besides that, do you feel like a council, like a National Youth Bike Council, can help support you in any other way?
I think, you know, supporting us, like, getting, like, showing what we do, and maybe, you know, like I said, come to the bike ride events, but also, you know, like, tell other cities, you know, what we're doing, what we accomplish. I think that would kind of be like almost like inspirational to them, and kind of like drive them to, you know, kind of do what we did. Yeah.
Anything you want to add there, Natalie?
No, I think that's pretty much it. So yeah.
Perfect. All right. Well, didn't want to hold y'all over, but I think this is a really great conversation. Is there anything that y'all want to include, or anything that I didn't ask that you definitely want to like maybe shout out or like include, or anything like that?
I can't think.
I don't think
Yeah,
so.
I'm thinking. I can't think of
From my
anything.
end, I don't think so. So yeah.
Perfect. Well, thank you both so much, and thanks, Jeremy, for coordinating this as well. For this to be possible, we would love to hear like the different stories and different things that y'all thinking about, and hopefully y'all advocacy will continue to go very well. So in that case, I think it's definitely time to sign off. But once again, thanks so much for joining us, and Natalie, Xander, and Jeremy. Appreciate it so much. My name is Joshua from National Bike Council, signing off.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Bye.
See ya.